A Lamp Unto My Feet by Walter C. Lanyon. Read by Electric Mud Puddles. Chapter 17. Assumption. He made himself as God. I and my Father are one. It is natural that in making himself as God, becoming one with the Father, Christ partook quite freely of the divine nature. In other words, he assumed the nature of God. The demonstrations of a necessity followed. The signs follow. When man makes this assumption, when he recognizes that all life is God, he will assume the qualities of God naturally and find them outpictured in his life. He will not then try to demonstrate the various attributes of this invisible power, but by assumption will be able to call them forth into manifestation at his will. Ye shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass, can only be true of one possessing or assuming the God nature. As long as this manifestation of God seems unusual or miraculous, just so long will it be little in evidence to him. But when man comes to the place where he makes himself as God, not a God, but as God, of the same nature and substance, then, by this assumption, the natural flow of God expression will take place, and he will begin to understand he is under grace. He will understand and accept the truth of the statement, joint heirs with Christ, and Son of the living God. He will begin to make his assumption in the secret place within. He will recognize that, being created of God, he must of necessity partake of the nature of God. His assumption of his God nature will have nothing to do with the former idea of wishing and hoping for things to come to pass. Once man is conscious of his true self, his decrees will be surrounded with confidence and abandon. He will not find it unnatural that the Son of the living God should appropriate the gifts of spirit. Assumption of the God nature, as shown by the Master, is not akin to the old idea of visualization, wherein the person composed a picture to his liking and floated it in imagination, trying to make it come into manifestation. Assuming the full stature of Christ is really contemplating the vision shown to you on the mount. You do not create it or imagine it. It is already existent and revealed to you. Assuming the divine nature, making yourself as God, man perceives the perfect where he formerly saw the imperfect. The assumption of the virgin, single-minded purity of consciousness, brought forth the new idea. The Word became flesh. In other words, the assumption became manifest. From the standpoint of assumption, man finds ease more natural than dis-ease. He ceases to get rid of disease as a reality and contemplates the Son of God living in the perfect ease of spirit. One moment of this realization and his disease has vanished into nothingness, for the perfect self is thereby revealed and made manifest. From the standpoint of assumption, man gains the actual concrete results he has failed to accomplish by the process of imagination he formerly used. Are you afraid to follow in the steps of the Master and assume your divine rights and see them into manifestation? Are you afraid to accept the results of consciously accepting your birthright? The worm of the dust finally discovers that he can do nothing to change or better himself, for he is a product of the dual belief in good and evil. Working with the body and personality is exactly the same thing. No matter what you have been, done, or left undone, when the Christ has been recognized as your true self, all former limitations flee away. Thousands of sincere souls seeking the light have spent years trying to better the condition of the worm in the dust, trying to make John Smith a better man, healthier, richer, or happier, but have accomplished little. The caterpillar cannot change except from within. No good trying to make a caterpillar fly. It is impossible. A complete change has to take place, a transformation. Jesus, the carpenter, becomes Christ, the Son of the living God, with all power. The caterpillar becomes the butterfly. Certain laws have to be heeded. If the caterpillar fails to close itself within its cocoon, it might have the desire and the capacity to become a butterfly, but would be utterly unable to do so because it failed to heed the law of secrecy. To lose the personality, secrecy is necessary. The change will be too great for the prying, doubting Thomas to participate in the glory of it. See that ye tell no man, wraps a cloak about the one who suddenly begins the process of assumption. Just as the cocoon is built around the grub that is to become the butterfly. Later, that which acts as a cloak of protection becomes a hindrance and is cast off. The scaffolding is torn down finally, in order that the perfect structure may be seen. The secrecy gives up its perfect manifestation. Then man may say, "Go and show John." The change that is made between the grub and the butterfly is tremendous, but it is nothing as compared to the change that takes place in the one who evolves from the John Smith personality, the worm of the dust, into the Son of the living God. What was impossible to John Smith is divinely natural to the new idea. As the butterfly seeks a new mode and means of expression after it has given up its caterpillar state of existence, so the man who has assumed his sonship and seen it out into manifestation moves into a new heaven and a new earth. The butterfly takes no cognizance of its former expression, no worrying over its mistakes, shortcomings, omissions, and fears. They are nothing. The new expression is so far removed from the old it is as a dream. The former things are passed away. They shall be remembered no more, neither shall they come into mind. So the new Son of the living God, moving into his new kingdom of expression, drops off all worries and fears, the cause and effect of the John Smith personality. Be still and know that I am God takes on a new meaning. Be still and assume the glories of this new estate. Assume them in the secret place easily, naturally. Assume them and rest in them in the silence. Be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. Know nothing, see nothing, hear nothing. Then you will know all, see all, and hear all. Come away from the noisy personality who wants to change the John Smith and heal him and make him prosper. You are the Son of the living God, and when you recognize this, you are through with the foolish idea of making demonstrations, and you will see the constant outpouring of the substance of God through the new idea by the assumption of the Son. One in all and all in one. Be still and serenely assume the God-given qualities and hide them deep in the cocoon of silence. Then will they burst forth as glorious freed expressions. Be not afraid, it is I, the very I that is able to assume its God inheritance is at this time speaking to you. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. It is already there, awaiting recognition. It does not need healing, prospering, being made happy or joyous. It is already these things. Identify yourself with it. Acquaint now thyself with him, and be at peace. Know ye not that ye are God's? Do you know it? If so, when will you assume the godlike qualities and see them into manifestation? Be still. Build the secret cocoon about you. Presently you shall be transformed by the renewing of your mind.